Hello world! Let's talk about everybody's favorite government agency, the Department of Housing and Urban Development, aka the HUD. You know, the $74 billion boondoggle that makes a federal case out of every leaky faucet. That's a $24 billion budget bump from just a couple years ago. Only in Washington can you fail upward and call it progress. At the helm of the HUD is Secretary Turner, the queen of systemic equity. Translation? I got one for you. Taxpayers fund her utopian social experiments while she lectures us on fairness. Funny how whenever liberals fix something, it always ends up costing more than the thing that they were trying to fix in the first place. If HUD were a neighbor, it'd not only borrow your ladder, but your entire tool shed, and still ask you to pay for their garage extension. Turner's big thing is collaborative public-private partnerships, which is really just a fancy way of saying businesses foot the bill, bureaucrats take the credit, and then when it all flops, they blame capitalism. It's like inviting Uncle Sam to a barbecue. He doesn't bring anything, eats everything, and then sues the grill manufacturer over the ribs. It's classic government efficiency. And the HUD wasn't always this bold in its mismanagement. It began in 1965 as a part of Lyndon Johnson's Great Society. Great for whom exactly? I don't actually know, but since then, we've layered on decades of red tape. It can only go well from here. And now we're debating whether taxpayers should fund solar-powered smart toilets in public housing. The HUD claims they're delivering on modernization. I'd settle for them delivering housing without the price tag of a small nation's GDP, for God's sakes. But we can't forget the Fair Housing Act of 1968. It started as a noble effort to end housing discrimination, but liberals never met a program they didn't want to supersize. Now, equal access sounds less like a civil right and more like a real estate game show. You get a house. You get a house. Do I get a house? I don't get a house. But you know how it goes. Forget owning the means of production. Bernie Sanders must be dreaming of an HUD owning all of the cul-de-sacs. Remember Dr. Ben Carson's vision of a HUD, how this might work under his proposal? He introduced Envision Centers to help folks in public housing achieve self-sufficiency. A little thing he liked to call personal responsibility. What a concept! Turner took that idea, gave it a liberal makeover, and renamed it collaborative equity. That's where personal responsibility goes to die while bureaucrats hold a committee meeting about your lived experience. Oh, and here's the gem. Turner's teaming up with Marcia Fudge at the Department of Agriculture for a house meets farming mashup. That's right, folks. The solution to urban poverty is rooftop kale farms. Imagine coming home to a $3,000 raised garden bed on your public housing balcony. Don't forget, it's all covered by your $74 billion generous taxpayer donation. Housing reform isn't supposed to be the playground for big government pipe dreams. It's about empowering local solutions, letting communities lead. Instead, we got Turner preaching equity like it's a religion, while praying her budget doesn't hit $100 billion next year. If HUD spent more time boosting home ownership and less time hosting eco-utopian TED Talks, maybe we'd get somewhere. Hey, if you loved hearing me yap about bureaucracy, do us all a favor and hit that like button. Like your self-esteem depends on it. Subscribe, follow, ring the bell. You know the drill. So we can all guilt trip you next time we post. Drop a comment begging for some more of my hot takes and share this with your grandma so she can confuse it for an email. Or don't. But definitely do.